Tea from China has been known to the world for over 1,000 years, and some of its most special brews are not even made with tea leaves. One of these legendary teas is made from a unique ingredient found growing 4,000 meters above sea level in the mountains of the Yunnan province. It's commonly known as the white worm lichen and is the key ingredient of white snow tea. The name Shangri-La has always conjured up images of an earthly paradise hidden in the most inaccessible mountains. Today, in southwestern Yunnan province, the legend is reality. When we arrive in Shangri-La, we are instantly surrounded by stunning landscapes. Shangri-La is comprised of both an old and a new town and is home to a population of 370,000. It has become a popular backpacker destination, and tourism is a lucrative business for the locals. But as the worldwide demand for exotic and unusual teas continues to grow, they also have another reliable income source, found in the Shika Snow Mountain. We meet up with a local expert, Zhang Changming, who since the early 1980s has been studying the key ingredient of white snow tea, Thamnolia vermicularis, the so-called white worm lichen. White snow tea has been used in Chinese medicine for thousands of years, chiefly believed to counteract inflammation. However, it wasn't until recently that proper studies were undertaken to properly understand the lichen's chemical qualities.
通过近几年的这个研究呢，表明呢雪茶素呢有这个抗炎，加速人体新陈代谢、分解脂肪的作用。所以呢，雪茶素呢它具有减肥的效果。
According to China's earliest records, the lichen was already being used as a medical curative in 1765, as documented in the Banqiaogang Mu, one of the country's oldest and most respected medical doctrines. High mountainsides are an ideal habitat for the growth of the white worm lichen. At altitudes of over 4,000 meters, the air quality is still pristine and pollutant-free. Any kind of air impurity is enough to inhibit and even stop the growth of lichen, so it's important that the environment remains clean. And that's why white snow tea can be consumed in its natural state without any concerns about contamination.
目前研究的情况来看呢，白雪茶里面呢主要发挥作用的是一个是这个雪茶素、甘露醇、麦角甾醇，它呢主要还是作为那个一种药用的植物。
The popularity of white snow tea, both locally and among tourists, has led to several tea shops being established in Shangri-La. Shop owner Zhou Ma is one such seller, and she has been seeing a growing demand for the tea.
白雪茶是长在很高很高的雪山上的，它是无毒无污染、纯天然的，洗都不洗，直接可以食用的白雪茶。它降血脂、减肥、降血压的功效，还有明目。
这个白雪茶有那个消炎、降血脂、降血压那些作用，还有那个解毒。平时喝白雪茶是为了保健，还有那个保持身材嘛，不继续再胖这样的。
To find out more about the harvesting of the white snow tea, we visit one of the oldest villages in the area and meet with the village head, 41-year-old farmer La Rong, who is married with 2 children. Like many of his fellow villagers, La Rong was first introduced to white snow tea as a youngster when he was at work up in the hills.
白雪茶是因为我从小的时候 在山头捡白雪茶，专门要白雪茶，最喜欢吃的白雪茶，因为是什么血压好，身体好。
Even back then, the villagers were aware of the bitter brew's weight loss capabilities, and they collected the lichen for their own local consumption. Laurent agrees to guide us up into the hills tomorrow morning to see the source of the white snow lichen ourselves, and to help in collecting some. We get ready to set off bright and early with Laurent and 4 of his friends. It's going to be a long journey, winding our way across rocky terrain and uneven slopes. Luckily, the horses are there to give us some extra strength in the most difficult areas. Halfway through the journey, even the tough locals have to stop for a break. It's just too cold, so they make a fire to warm up and fill up on a quick snack. They found out that there is still some white worm lichen growing close by though, and after a brief rest, set about filling their baskets with the last of the season's pickings.
白雪茶呢，一般呢要生长在海拔4000米以上的高山地带。白雪茶呢，主要是分布在青藏高原啊，然后呢，它的分布中心呢，应该还是在中国。
Tumnolia vermicularia is a species of lichen, which is basically an organic complex formed by the symbiosis of fungi and algae. They are both dependent on each other for survival. The algae provides energy through photosynthesis, and the fungal partner protects the algae by retaining water, providing a larger capture area for mineral nutrients and even obtaining minerals from the surrounding substrate. The friends have collected a fair amount of the lichen from the area, so they pack up and we all head back to the village. Technically, it will be too cold to come up to the mountains again this season, so this will be their last trip. But they have still managed to gather a fair amount of the lichen, leaving enough behind to recover and grow back. Laurent hands over the entire day's harvest to his wife, and she takes over the processing of the lichen. After being sorted and spread out on trays, the lichen is left for 2 to 3 days to dry out in the sun. It is imperative that the weather is sunny or at least dry during this period, as any moisture will spoil the lichen. Of course, one of the other joys of tea drinking is that it is a very sociable affair, and both family and friends gather to share in the brew.
每天的这个食用量呢，以这个5克到15克为宜。那个人体虚弱的人呢，体弱多病的人呢，就不适合饮用这个雪茶，因为呢，这个如果是人体虚弱的人吃了以后呢，他可能会有一些不好的这个效果，比如说会产生这些头晕目眩啊，或者是血压低啊。
烤炸的家里嘎，弄过我家里便宜，光那个炸的鸡蛋，这就不舍得。家里说话说嘛，炸根都可说你自己，味道了不要你的炸。
出门要嘎哎，面面过年我就炸的，我给我拿鸡一盘，差点卡下去，炸的鸡，光炸的俺都不能让炸的一起，哎。
As with all newly discovered health remedies, demand for white snow tea has soared both locally and internationally, and the villagers of Shangri-La are now worried that it is getting more and more difficult to find and collect the white worm lichen, as they now have to compete with commercial collectors. Many of them believe that now is the time to have the lichen legally protected so that it can be preserved for future generations to come. If not, they may live to see this wonder plant disappear from the mountains of Shangri-La forever. Weight loss is on the tips of everyone's tongues across the planet. And while there are many different remedies to combat the flab, some natural and others not, it always pays to understand that different things work for different people. Of course, the key to not just maintaining your weight, but also staying fit and active is to lead a healthy lifestyle. Foods and minerals may provide further benefits, but it all starts with eating a balanced diet, exercising regularly, and being sensible about the lifestyle choices you make.